What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to launch a coaching, consulting, or mentorship style business. All right, this is going to be step by step, everything you need to know to get it up and running to at least 10K a month in the next 60 to 90 days. Some of you can do it faster, but this is going to be an overview of the steps you need to take to make that happen. All right, if you don't know who I am, my name's Adam Lucky. I ran a gym for 9 years. I've been running an online marketing business for the last 5 years. We do about 35K a month on average. And recently, I now focus purely on helping people launch their online businesses and scale that to 50K a month in profit, predominantly using this coaching consulting model, because this is what I found to be the best online business model. And I've tried a lot of them. All right. In my marketing business, I've done purely done for you advertising services where I've helped dentists, helped online coaches, online fitness coaches scale their businesses through paid ads, which is something we'll talk about here in a little bit. But I also coached them. I also consulted them on their sales process, consulted them on, the entire business model, how to streamline things. But my passion now is really helping people that feel like they have a calling, feel like they have a message, and they want to monetize it, right? They want to make good money by doing something they love, by helping the people they feel called to. And a coaching and consulting type of business model is really the best way to do that. There's a lot of pros and cons to it. We'll dive into that. But honestly, if you look at the big gurus, right? Let's say, for example, Iman Ghazi. This guy has a coaching business. He coaches people on SMMA, but SMMA isn't the thing that makes him the most money. It's a coaching and consulting business. So you should really look at what are people actually doing, not what are they saying, but what are they doing that is going to make them the most money. And that is leveraging a personal brand and having a coaching. So let's dive in and talk about some of the pros. Okay, there's lots of pros. There's also some cons, right? But some of the things that really caught my attention is profit. You can literally have a business that is 90% margins. Like, that's wild. Like with my marketing agency, when we were just doing done for you services, the best margins I've ever had was probably like 40%, 50%, because you're scaling with people. You have a big team, right? You have a lot of people, and it's very intensive, very time intensive. And that's one of the appeals of a consulting business, is like you can run it with a VA and you can scale it to 100K a month, and 90% of that will be in your pocket. All right, but that's also one of the cons. It's not a productized business. You are the biz. Okay? And that's something to be aware of. I feel like the trade-offs are worth it if it's something that you feel called to. All right? So this is a reason to start a consulting business. You feel called to it, right? The worst thing you can do is start a consulting business because you think it's just going to be super easy and you don't even like the people you work with. That's why it's so important to choose the right type of person that you want to work with, because you're going to be spending a lot of time with them. You're going to be helping them. And that's why I got into it, because I love helping entrepreneurs. I love talking about business, marketing, advertising, strategies, people that have a mission, a call. So for example, like I help a lot of different type of coaches, agency owners. I help them launch consulting type of offers. I help dentists take their expertise and help other dentists, real estate flippers, take their knowledge, package it, and help other people, online fitness coaches. Like whatever it is, as long as you're passionate and you feel like you 100% love to help the people that you're serving, then you're the type of person I love to help, because I know how to structure the business model. I know how to market. I know how to help you make money doing the thing you love, right? So that's a great reason to start a coaching consulting business, is you feel called to it. You feel like this is something that lights you up. Right? It's not just something to make money, which is great, but it lights you up when you think about helping these types of people. It excites you. So lean team, we already talked about it, but I used to have a big team, 7-8 people. It's complex, right? Managing people is not my forte. It's not something that I look forward to. Getting on team meetings all the time, it drains me. So it's important to be aware of your energy and the type of personality you have. Maybe you are an operator. Maybe you love that. So that's something to be aware of. But if you're like me and you like having a lean team where it's just you, one or two other team members, then this is a great business model to jump into because it's not operationally complex. Another really great reason to launch a consulting business is freedom. Freedom of time, money, and purpose. So freedom of time, you can literally work a few hours a day and make $1 million a year profit. Like, can't beat that, okay? And this isn't just theory. I know I'm not there yet. That's where I'm going. But I have friends, many friends that are doing 7 figures, 90% margins. They only work, they only deliver on their coaching 2 days a week. And we'll talk about that because that's the way you structure your offer is really important, because you can do a coaching business all wrong. You can be burnt out running a coaching business, having a big team. So it's really important to have the right business model. But if you structure it correctly, you can have a lot of freedom of time. For me, that's huge. I'm a dad, I'm a husband. I love to travel. I love to have fun. I don't like to be working all the time, but when I do work, I want to make sure it's something that is fulfilling. So that's freedom of purpose, because you can only have so much time freedom when you just don't start, you start feeling useless. If you just have all the time in the world and you're not doing significant work, you're not doing meaningful work, you're not doing the work you feel like God put you on this planet for, you're not helping people, you're not serving people, you can only sit on the beach for so long, right? So freedom of purpose, this business model is amazing. I've felt that from my experience, being able to serve the people that I love to serve. It lights me up. So this is a great reason to do that. And then freedom of money, of course, we talked about that. So freedom of time, money. So really the last two here are leverage and impact. Leverage because you're selling advice, you're selling knowledge, you're selling coaching, you're selling your wisdom. All of that is, in my opinion, much better than providing a done for you service like I was doing in the past, and we still do it in my business, but that's like a done for you. We're going to run your advertising. I mean, there's all kinds of services you can provide online, right? But one of the most leveraged aspects is selling knowledge, but also the impact, right? The impact is a coaching experience, a mentorship experience. Usually people start coaching or mentorship businesses because they've gone through the transformation themselves. And those make the best coaches, right? Like, you've actually gone through the transformation, you've gone through the experience, you're helping your past self. And usually we are most emotionally connected to our past self. Like, we love to help people overcome challenges that we faced in the past. So there's not a ton of cons that I'm aware of. The main one for me is you are the business, like I said, and not as sellable, right? That's something that you should take into account. This isn't like a productized business. You can, however, productize your consulting business like Gym Launch. If you know what Gym Launch is, Hormozi, Alex Hormozi. I worked with him closely when I was running my marketing agency back during COVID days. And we were working one-on-one. I remember talking to him and he was like, yeah, I can't sell Gym Launch. I can't do that. It's me. It's my face. But it's funny because obviously he sold it for a lot of money. So he changed his mind on that. But it was quite the challenge, right? He had to bring someone else in, bring Kale, that's the new CEO, and really rebrand. But overall, coaching businesses are usually not super sellable. So those are really the pros and cons, why you'd want to start a consulting business. Let's dive into the first step is your offer. Okay, this is really what you have to have dialed in. All right, and the first step is what's the outcome you want to produce? For who? All right, who do you want to produce that outcome for? What's that dream outcome that they desire? So maybe you're a dentist, right? And you're helping other dentists. They want to achieve the outcome of having a $2 million a year business while only working 2 days a week. They're able to bring in another doctor, whatever it is. You can literally solve any problem online for any type of person and make great money at it, okay? You usually want to think about in the bigger terms of health, wealth, or relationships. Those are the main 3 categories that any problem is going to fall into, right? There's also the spiritual sides of things, right? I have people that I help that are ministers of the gospel, right? And they help with their mentorship. They help people grow a deeper connection with God. So there's the spiritual, and that would fall under like relationships still, right? Relationships with your creator. But what's that outcome? You want to get clear on the outcome that they want, okay? That's first step. If you don't have a clear outcome and you're just like, hey, I'll help you better your relationship, like that's so general. You have to be very specific about the outcome you're looking to produce for somebody, all right? And then really your who. Your who. Who is that person that you love to serve, all right? So when I was transitioning my business from just doing done-for-you service of marketing and going into the coaching consulting world, I really had to dive in and figure out like who's my who, and I realized the who is more about values as well, like people that resonate with you, like attracts like, your vibe attracts your tribe. So you want to get clear on your values. For me, that's freedom, like having the freedom to do what I want, work when I want, do the work that I love. Like those are my values, like having fun. I'm not the 24/7 grinder. I'm not the very worldly type as well. I do love cars and stuff. I'm not overly materialistic. You're not going to see me rolling in Gucci and all of that. Like I don't care about a lot of that stuff. I love experiences. I love traveling with my family, creating deep connections. I love God, right? Like God, having faith. All of that is my values, and that I had to get clear on, because when you show up on social media, you got to show up authentically with who you are. So you got to get clear on who you are and how you want to show up and who you want to serve, right? Like for me, I want to serve people that want to build online businesses. That has always resonated with me. So like that's an aspect of people that I love to serve. People that have a calling. They feel deeply passionate about serving someone else, right? It's not just about making money, which is obviously very important. Another aspect to get clear on is their aspirations, right? What do they want to become? Who do they want to become? Like, what do they aspire to? Like, for me, I attract a lot of people that want to build a business that fuels a lifestyle of fun, of relationships, of connection, right? That is who I attract, because I'm clear on the aspirations that I have and the people that I serve, the aspirations that they have. They want to have a business that fuels their life, where they're not a slave to their business. They don't have to work 24/7. They can take free days when they want, so they can take their kids camping whenever they want, so they don't miss out on those beautiful, precious years when their kids are young, like mine are right now. Like those are aspirations. And that is most important to be aware of, because that will attract people that you want to work with. Other parts are their fears. All right, understanding your who better than they understand themselves. This is really, we're not going to go too deep into this, but that should give you an understanding of like the level of understanding you should have, and that will create a deep connection, because they will know that you understand them. They will know that you empathize with them, which is important whenever you're trying to influence somebody, right? They need to know how much you care before they care about what you know. So you got to know their fears. You also need to be clear on all of the problems that they have, right? There's internal problems and there's external problems. You got to get clear on that. Internal problems, self-doubt, fraud syndrome, overanalyzing, the list goes on. But you want to get clear on what that is specifically for your who. And then the external problems are, like for me, the people I help, they don't know what their offer is. They don't know how to clarify their offer. They don't know how to choose their niche. They don't know how to get clients. They don't know how to run advertising. They don't know how to market. Like, I literally solve all of those problems for my clients. I help them overcome all of those challenges, and I've become clear on all of the roadblocks they're going to face, because I've faced them all over my last 14 years in business, and 5 specifically on building an online type of business. So that is really the who. I'm sure there's more, but that's all I'll cover for now. And then lastly, like regarding the offer, it's like, how are you going to deliver? the result. Are you going to provide a done-for-you service? Are you going to coach and consult them? How often are you going to meet with them? What type of courses are you going to provide them, if any? So let's dive into that now. This is literally the secret sauce right here. This is the game changer. This is really the connection offer. It's what I call it. This is what's going to allow your business model to be one of freedom, to give you the time that you want, to be able to work when you want, and prevent you from building a business that you're just doing too much. You're constantly overwhelmed. And then that's how you become resentful, right? Like you built a business and then now you're just resentful because you're just a slave to your business. But this really simplifies things. I call it the connection offer because people will pay you for connection. Connection to you, connection to the community that you create. This is really how you want to deliver a solid coaching, consulting, or mentorship type of offer. I learned this from one of my first mentors. He's like, people plug into power. Like when you get a coach, when you get a mentor, they are plugging into power. And biblically, this really stems from honor a prophet in the name of a prophet, you'll receive a prophet's reward, right? Honor a righteous man in the name of a righteous man, you'll receive their reward. So there's something that happens when you plug into power, when you come into connection with a mentor, with a coach that's gone through the problems that you've gone through. And, just as a Christian, it's like that's the body of Christ. We all need each other, right? Humanity, we need each other because other people have our breakthrough. Other people are the answers to our prayers. And that's what you get to be when you start your coaching or consulting business. You get to be an answer to their prayer. So let's dive in to really the connection offers layers, right? So on the outside, you have your free content. This is your content you're posting on social media, helping people for free, warming them up to who you are. They're starting to become more aware of you. And then the next level is really your products. Okay, so this could be like your low ticket products, your workshops, your anything that people pay you for. All right, so that's the next layer in. This is what people paying you for your knowledge, right? They're not getting any coaching or anything like that, but this is the next layer of connection, is that they purchase your products. The next layer in is group. All right, this is where you show up once a week, twice a week, whatever you decide, but they have group access to you. And this is where that next layer in, they're paying you even more money, right? So now they have the products, they have the course, but they also get group access to you. So that's the beautiful part about this, is through each layer, the course, the modules, everything that you create stays the same for the group and the one-to-one access. All that changes is now they get one-to-one access to you. The way I structure it right now, as of this recording, I have my group calls once a week, and then for people that do one-to-one, right, they get more access. They get 2 30-minute calls a month, plus they get Slack access to me. That might change in the future, but as of right now, that's the way I structure it. And that's the best way to trade your time for money if you're doing one-on-one, because then you're not doing a bunch of hour-long calls every single week, which is just draining, right? And it's unnecessary, especially if you have the group dynamic. The one-on-one is really there for quick. People can Slack you. You can use WhatsApp, Voxer, whatever type of voice communication, ask you questions, and you can respond right away. So this is really the simple connection offer. It just requires you. You don't need to hire a bunch of other coaches or anything like that. All you really need is a VA to make this model work. So once you're clear on your offer, who you want to serve, how you want to help them, the problems you're going to solve, the dream outcomes you're going to take them to step by step, and you now have the connection offer, you know how you want to deliver, it's time to get clear on your messaging, right? So this is really what we call personal brand, right? How are you showing up on the socials? How do you want to be known? What do people know you for? How to be known, right? How you want to be known, whatever. That is really the aspect of messaging. And I call this essence marketing. When you dial this in, you're really communicating your essence. what is your makeup? What are your values? Like, how do you want to show up? People need to know, like, and trust you, right? They need to know you, so they need to know about your life. What do you like? What don't you like? That's an aspect of Essence marketing, of content marketing, of how you show up. What are the things you like? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? I like to travel. I have kids. I like to have fun. I have electric toys like a Sur-Ron, like electric dirt bike, fun stuff like that. I like to RV, me and my family. So those are like my hobbies. All right, and a portion of my content is showing that lifestyle. All right, one of my friends and mentors, like literally someone signed up with him because he has chickens. Okay, this story always stuck out to me because it's just wild, but it really drives home the point of your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, this guy bought chickens. He's got a little homestead in Bali, whatever. And that doesn't do anything for me, but I don't care anything about homesteading or chickens. But for that guy, it resonated with him, and he's like, "Oh man, this is my guy. I need to sign up with him." Like, I totally resonate with that. So what are the aspects of your personality? What are the aspects of your values, your hobbies that are going to resonate with your ideal clients? And if you don't get the messaging right, you're going to be lost in the noise, right? You're going to be just like every other online coach, offering the same thing, using guarantees. There's nothing that differentiates yourself. And the way you differentiate yourself is becoming your own niche. And the way you do that is by being clear on who you are, having your own communication, showing up authentically, right? One of my mentors calls it, instead of being a megaphone, you want to be a dog whistle. Be that frequency that the right person will hear. So that's important to really dial in. This is kind of the deep work of like figuring out these things, like, who am I? Some of that esoteric type of stuff, like, who am I? What do I like? How do I want to show up? Because in reality, there's two sales that need to happen in marketing. People need to trust you, and they need to trust your unique mechanism. All of that should be done in your marketing. That's what I call essence marketing. So once you get clear on the messaging, it's now about showing up with content that gets them to trust you as the messenger. You do that by demonstrating empathy and authority, showing that you understand, and then showing that you can get them results, proving by testimonials, proving that you've gone through the transformation yourself. And this is hidden behind my face, but it says trust your unique mechanism. I'll just write that up here. They need to trust your process, all right? So marketing does all of this. Essence marketing accomplishes this, and this is through your content on socials, on YouTube, whichever platform you choose. All right, do this and sales becomes easy. All right, if you're just doing the old way of things where you get people on calls and they're cold, they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, which I've done a lot of this, sales become very hard. This is where you get objections like, how are you different than so-and-so? Like, their walls are up. But when you dial this in, sales become really easy. Like, people know who you are already. They already trust you. They like you. They've seen your process. They've seen your unique mechanism, your process of getting them results. They trust you, all right? So that's really the next step. And then really dialing in pricing really quick. I know this is going long, but I wanted to provide a ton of value here and make this super step-by-step. I won't go too in-depth, but honestly, weekly pricing is the way to go. You don't want to do low ticket. That's what I'll mostly say. Low ticket is only for people that have a huge audience already. Low ticket would be something like $297 and under. What you want to do is high ticket recurring revenue, because with a small audience, you can't afford not to, right? It's going to take so many sales, so many clients to even make 10 grand a month, right? So high ticket MRR, I would suggest something like 200 a week for group, for example, and then 400 a week for one-to-one coaching. It's a great way to start. Depends on your niche, depends on your confidence, but weekly pricing, because that's the lowest amount of money someone needs to part with. And I learned this from Hormozi, Alex Hormozi, and when I was a client of Gym Launch, they charged $1,000 a week, right? The premium pricing, it was a consulting business, right? Gym Launch helped you turn around your gym, but they charged $1,000 a week. And his reasoning was because that's the lowest amount that someone needs to part with right now. And to really drive this point home, a friend of mine literally told me he was trying to sign up a client, right? The guy said no because his monthly pricing. A month later, changed his pricing to weekly, and the guy said yes, simply because it was a cheaper amount they had to part with. Right? What's the least amount of money someone needs to let go of in order to do business with you? Plus, it gives them time to cash flow, start making money if you're doing like a make money offer, right? All right, the last thing we're going to talk about here is traffic. How do we get people to know you exist? How do we get them to know about your offer? What's that whole process look like from getting them from cold to sold? And this is where the funnel comes in. Every business has a funnel. Every business needs to generate leads. Every business needs to nurture those leads, needs to sell them, and then needs to deliver, and then needs to retain them. Those are the main core functions of any business, right? But let's look at the traffic here with my straight lines. I need to go back to elementary school, right? Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Let's erase that. So any funnel has your top of funnel, middle of funnel, and then your bottom of funnel, all right? This is cold, warm, and hot. So obviously, if you already have an audience, then that's the best case scenario, because you already have people that know, like, and trust you, and now you can just launch your offer and sell it to them. Super best case scenario. But if you're just starting out, you don't have an audience yet, how do you get people into your top of funnel? How do you get people to become aware of you? And there's a few ways to do that. I like to combine paid ads with organic, right? So your organic methods are going to be Facebook, posting every day. Okay, this strategy, everything I teach is all about personal branding. It's all about combining paid ads with strategic content, and you got to get good at content. That's going to be one of the main skills you're going to need to get good at in order to make this process work. So with Facebook, you can literally add 50 people a day. Friend request 50 people a day. I would highly recommend having a VA do that. And then with Instagram, you're posting 2 to 3 reels per day. Obviously, if that sounds like a lot, start with 1 per day. Whatever it is that you can commit to, start small and build your way up. But IG Reels have organic reach. The best way to really maximize that is paid ads. All right? So people are seeing all of this stuff, and that's going to drive them into the top of your funnel. Now they're going to become aware of you. With your Reels, you're giving them tangible solutions, right? Let's say you're a dentist, right? And you're helping other dentists. You're going to give them tips on how to market. You're going to give them tips on how to sell. You're going to give them strategies. You're going to show them wisdom. You're going to show them social proof of, your practice. You're going to give them social proof of other dentists you've helped grow their practice. Maybe you're like focusing on Invisalign or something. That's going to be your content. And there's a whole host of different types of content you want to post. We're not going to dive into all that right now. But that's going to drive people to the top of your funnel. And then the middle of your funnel is still going to be Reels. But you can also add in like YouTube, like this video you're watching right now. This is a very long form, in-depth video. Okay, you can do stuff like, you don't have to, but your shorts are still going to warm people up. This is getting people to know, like, and trust you. So this could be on TikTok, Instagram. This is your Facebook posts, right? All of your content is warming them up, getting them to trust you as the authority, getting them to trust you as the guide. And then down here, this is your sales. Okay? This is where you're converting them, taking people that are warm and getting them to pay you money to become a client. There's many ways to do this. You can do low ticket workshops in the DMs. Like, my call to action for you is like, hey, if you want to launch your coaching business, I'm going to put my Facebook profile, my Instagram profile, and if you want help launching your coaching business, your consulting business, then shoot me the word freedom, and I'll get you the info of how I can help you with my one-on-one coaching mentorship program to help you launch your own coaching mentorship program, right? So that's how I do it. That's my call to action, is from this video. Shoot me a DM with the word freedom, and I'll get you the info. So you can convert people in the DMs, or you can do sales calls as well. So from the DM, you can do a sales call. The only thing is, like, for me, I don't like doing sales calls with people that are cold. So I only do sales calls with people that have gone through my content. They already know, like, and trust me. They're already on the fence. So let's hop on a quick call, 10, 15 minutes, and let's see if this is going to be a good fit. Real quick, something I did miss. When I talk about paid ads, that's literally just boosting your reels, okay, on Instagram, if that's the platform you choose. And side note, you don't have to do video if you don't want to. You can literally just do email. You can literally just do Facebook posts, written form. If you don't like being on video, you don't have to. I highly recommend it because IG Reels are one of the best ways to grow organically. But when you have a reel that performs decently, you can literally just boost it, put $30 a day behind it on ad spend, and that's going to reach a ton more people. For me, I don't like to rely on just organic because I think it's slow and it's unpredictable. When you tap into paid ads, you can accelerate your growth. You can reach way more people than you ever would organically. All right? So we covered a lot here. The team, really not much to cover. All you need is a VA to get to 100K a month, right? You just need a virtual assistant, or else you're the assistant. This is definitely the key, the one person you need to provide freedom for your business, or else you're the assistant and you're doing all of the grunt work, which you don't want to be doing, right? Other than that, you can hire like another coach to help out, but we're not even going to talk about that because you don't need it, okay? So in order to launch, you don't even need a VA at first. That would be one of the first hires I make. So anyway, we covered a lot. How to launch your coaching consulting business. If this has been resonating with you, comment below, like, subscribe. Also, like I said, if you do want one-on-one help, shoot me a DM. Happy to help you. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.